My name is Daniel Munblit, and I am Associate Professor from the Sechenov University from the Department of Pediatrics and Infectious Diseases. Breast milk is a very complex body fluid. So we have so many cytokines, immunological markers, we have microbiome, we have polyunsaturated fatty acids, oligosaccharides, etc., etc. So it's a very complex, it has very complex composition. We know that it differs from one country to another. It differs geographically, it differs from one mother to another, it differs even within the same mother, depending on the time of lactation, time of the feed. So it's extremely complex body fluid. And we also know that that we can influence this, we can influence human milk. We can, primarily by dietary factors, we can give probiotics or fish oil or fresh fish, and we can try to modulate human milk composition, changing certain factors within the composition itself. I think one of the crucial concepts that we need to bring forward are lactotypes, because normally we see research analyzing cytokines or microbiome or fatty acids, but we really lack research trying to analyze all of this as a whole, all together, because we think that there may be a possibility that some mothers have different combinations from the others, and maybe these combinations, rather than a single factor, that's what makes a difference, and that's what drives the disease. This work can be complementary to the work which is done in epidemiological studies, intervention epidemiological studies, where earlier solid food introduction led to a reduced risk of food allergy development. So maybe we should study more of a food transfer into human milk in conjunction with cytokines and microbiome and other human milk factors. So combining this with epidemiological studies may bring us to the breakthrough. So these two are complementary. We will be looking to modify their diet during pregnancy. So normally, if you see most of the studies, the modification starts at the last trimester of pregnancy and throughout lactation, but also the solid food introduction. So I think at the moment we see that studies, again, there are some studies looking at dietary interventions during pregnancy and lactation, and others looking at solid food introduction. There are not that many research combining both. One of the major issues is that there's so many confounding factors in this research, and it's very difficult to take them into account, to take all of them into account. And I think that's one of the major issues in breast milk research and breastfeeding research at present. We're not sure which particular markers are crucial and which particular combinations with other parts of breast milk composition are the most important with regards to diseases, non-communicable diseases development. But there are many groups around the world working on this, and the future is probably, future lies within multinational collaborations. That's the only way forward, because it's at present, nowadays, it's impossible just to, it is very hard to make a breakthrough working in a particular country just as a single team. So we need multinational collaborations with well standardized approaches, collecting samples and running the same study all around the world in a number of places to see, to really replicate, to make these results to be extrapolated to other populations. Certain things are not known because there are not that many experimental studies, and there is a definite lack of experimental studies looking at what happens within breast milk. It's virtually impossible to do a study like that. And those, so we should rely upon animal models, and they not always, those results are not always transferable to humans. But obviously, immunological markers, they interact very well with microbial composition of both human milk and neonatal gut. So that's what we see in different studies. But we don't know how, for instance, how microbial composition of human milk interacts with immunological composition within the human milk. And it is very difficult to uncover this because it's pretty impossible to run a study like that. We even don't know whether colostrum and mature milk are the same. I mean, they are considered to be the same, but they're so different. The activity, biological activity of colostrum is so much higher. So do we really need colostrum to boost babies' immunity in the first week of life, to give natural vaccination by just giving human milk? We don't know.